Ah, here we are again. Waking up on a beach with absolutely nothing. Well, nothing except a rock. And so begins the adventures of a noob Rust player. Now then, where should we build our base? Near the water sounds sensible. Which means, it probably isn't. Let's give it a go. Yep, just my luck. Not one, but two NPCs shooting at me within seconds of loading in. I've got a rock. They've got guns. Seems fair. Looks like we're off to a fantastic start. Well, that's not too bad. At least I can use the hemp to make a sleeping bag. Look at me, already making progress. Sort of. Oh dear, that didn't take long. Another player already. Thankfully, I don't think they noticed me. Phew, that was close. But that's day one of a fresh Rust White for you. Although technically, I'm about 6 hours late. So everyone else is running around with guns. And I've got a rock. Yep, a rock. Fear me. Those loud thuds can only mean one thing. A bear. Brilliant. This game really is determined to end me as quickly as possible. Thankfully, I managed to narrowly avoid it. So that's guns, other players, and now bears. I've still got a rock. Nice. Finally, enough hemp to make a sleeping bag. Progress. I now have somewhere convenient to respawn, when this game inevitably kills me. Sleeping bag down. That's one small victory. Now it's time to farm some materials, because apparently a rock and a sleeping bag don't count as a base. Oh my goodness. I think I've actually found it. The perfect place to build my base. Good location, decent cover, close to water. What could possibly go wrong? Pretty sure I just heard footsteps. Yep. That's never a good sign. Cue the Benny Hill music. Run away. Looks like I actually managed to give him the slip. Somehow. 2% health left. At this point, I'm not looking for loot. I'm looking for a miracle. Nice. An open base. Now the important question. Did they leave anything useful behind? Or am I about to get shot for being nosy? Nice, a hammer. Now, I wonder if I can use this to pick up the tool cupboard. Apparently not. Either that, or I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. Which, to be fair, is entirely possible. Oh dear. I just heard someone outside. Yep, that is definitely someone outside. I've made a terrible mistake coming in here. Well, I managed to survive longer than expected. But I think my luck has finally run out. Yep, I'd say my days are numbered. Finally, I've managed to find somewhere reasonably quiet. Time to farm up the tools and materials I need to actually build a base, before night sets in, or I starve to death, whichever comes first. Now I should be able to farm a bit quicker. And one thing I have learned. Farm what you need, then move on. Because standing around hitting a tree for 5 minutes is basically the Rust equivalent of ringing a dinner bell. Yes, finally. My first bow. Definitely an upgrade from the rock. Now I actually have something that might keep me alive. Assuming, of course, I can hit anything with it. And now I'm starting to starve. Perfect. So I need to keep farming, get enough materials together, and build this base quickly, before hunger finishes the job everyone else has been trying to do. Wait. I can hear someone approaching. Maybe this is my chance to finally test my shooting. Here we go. And miss. Of course I did. Why am I not surprised? Apparently, getting a bow was the easy part. Actually hitting something with it. That's going to need some practice. Sadly, I don't think these red berries are even going to touch the sides. Still, food is food. At this point, I'm not exactly in a position to be picky. It's getting late. I really need to get this base set up. Because wandering around in the dark, with barely any food, and questionable bow skills, doesn't feel like a particularly strong survival strategy. I really wish I was better at building bases. I've already built that too high, so now I need to break it. Or, maybe I don't? Yeah, I genuinely have no idea what I'm doing here. Professional Rust builder, everyone. And now it's getting really difficult to see. I definitely took too long getting this base started. And I've got a feeling, this thing is going to be far too small. Still, we live and learn. Mostly learn. Let's upgrade what we can with what we've got. I need to make this base at least a little bit secure, because there are non-stop gunshots nearby. Very reassuring. Nothing says, welcome to the neighborhood, quite like constant gunfire. No idea how to switch this thing on. Apparently, the game has finally taken pity on me. So, I'll remember. Trying to be smart with the tool cupboard here. Let's stick it in that mistake of a doorway. And it doesn't fit. Actually, thinking about it, that's probably for the best. If I put it there, anyone outside could just shoot it. So apparently my terrible building skills have accidentally saved me from an even worse decision. Not exactly off to the best start. Right, finally, morning. Time to get back out there, farm some materials, and make this base a little more secure. Well, maybe not secure, just secure enough that anyone walking past thinks, yeah, that's really not worth raiding. Wait, I can hear someone nearby. Very nearby, in fact. And no, I don't mean the gunshots. Those have basically become background noise at this point. There's definitely someone right outside. I can definitely hear them. I just have absolutely no idea where they are, which somehow makes this even worse. Maybe they're outside the cave. Let's have a quick look, because leaving the safety of the cave to investigate strange footsteps can only end well. No, that's definitely behind me. Maybe they're on top of the cave? Wait, no, they're on the other side of the base. Excellent. So I finally know where they are, and somehow that hasn't made me feel any better. Wow, miss. Of course I missed. It is only my second shot ever. And missed again. And again. Yep, definitely seeing a pattern here. Wait, finally, I actually hit him. And he's down. My first kill. It only took several wildly inaccurate arrows to get there. But I'll take it. Bit of a shame. After all that effort, there wasn't even any decent loot to take. Still, first kill secured. Let's focus on the positives. Oh, there's a second body here. And they've actually got a few materials on them. Not much, but at this stage, I'll happily take anything I can get. Oh dear, footsteps. I really should have seen this coming. I got a little too confident after my first kill, and decided to go back and check if I'd missed any loot, which, in hindsight, was a terrible idea. And now, I'm dead. Well done. Right, let's respawn on the beach. He's probably still hanging around near the base, so I'm not rushing back there just yet. For now, I'll go back to farming, which, funnily enough, was what I was supposed to be doing in the first place. Animal footsteps always get my heart racing. Thankfully, just a deer. For once, something in this game isn't trying to kill me. I'm just going to have a quick look inside this cave, especially as there seem to be a few loot crates down here. Free loot in a dark cave. I'm sure this is completely safe. See, I remembered to press F this time. Progress. Slow progress, but progress. Ah, someone's already built a base down here. Nice. And yes, it's definitely a more advanced version of mine. By which I mean, they clearly knew what they were doing. Managed to make this rather strange looking pistol. I haven't actually tried it yet. Hopefully I'll get the chance. Although, based on my experience with the bow, the weapon probably isn't the part I need to worry about. I can hear a chicken, which is extremely convenient, because I am absolutely starving. Sorry, little chicken, but desperate times call for dinner. Eating it straight off the fire seems like a perfectly sensible idea. Apparently, you can't cook the egg. Maybe I just eat it raw? Yep, straight down. Good to know. Nothing says survival quite like a raw egg for breakfast. I'm heading over that way. Looks like there's plenty of farming to be done. Hopefully I can grab what I need and get out again before something decides to ruin my day. Definitely heard a wolf. Looks like they're chasing each other. Maybe I'll just wait this one out, and once they've finished trying to kill each other, I can swoop in and collect the meat, animal fat and leather. Work smarter, not harder. Okay, looks like the fight has stopped. Time to collect the spoils. Let's try the boomerang. I've got absolutely no idea how this thing works. And that's not right. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to throw it. There we go. Oh dear, he's coming back. Panic. Where's the boomerang? I thought these things were supposed to come back. Right? Time for the weird gun. Wait, why isn't it shooting? Oh dear, this is not going well. Pickaxe. And dead. Yep. Work smarter, not harder. Absolutely nailed that one. Right, back we go. Armed with my trusty rock. Somehow, I've come full circle. Take that, Mr. Wolf. Rock 1. Wolf 0. Turns out I was using the right weapon all along. Right? I really want to make myself a nail gun. But for that, I need scrap. And as far as I can tell, the best place to find some is in the crates near the road. The road which, conveniently, is surrounded by other people's bases. So, looks like we're going on a little adventure. What could possibly go wrong? Mad Max style. Some absolute road warrior comes flying down the road, randomly spraying a machine gun everywhere. Perfect. Quick, into the bushes. Let's pretend I was never here. Thankfully, I can hear him driving off into the distance. I think that's my cue to start heading back. I've pushed my luck enough for one trip. So, I've found a metal detector. No idea how this thing works, but let's give it a try. I'm sure I'll figure it out eventually. I can hear an animal approaching. It's a warthog, right? Let's see what this nail gun can do. Oh my goodness, I love this thing. Where have you been all my life? Finally, a weapon that makes me look vaguely competent. Right, back to the metal detector. Now that I've been briefly distracted by discovering my new favorite weapon. Getting closer. Hopefully there's actually something decent buried here. After all this effort, I'd quite like it to be worth digging up. Bingo! Let's see what we've got. Well, that took a few more swings than expected. High quality metal. Nice. Definitely worth the digging. Ah, looks like a new base has popped up. That definitely wasn't there before. Nice to see the neighborhood is filling up. I'm sure they'll be lovely neighbors. That part of the base is only made of twigs. And if my own building experience has taught me anything, it's that twig doesn't take much to break. So, let's have a little look. See if anyone's home. This feels like another excellent decision. No one's home. And you know what? I think I'm actually going to try and raid this place. Although, does it really count as a raid if I'm breaking into a house made of twigs? Either way, this is the first time I've tried anything like this. I'm strangely excited, which probably means I'm about to make another terrible decision. I probably should have just used the bow, but I had to craft a spear to clear it off the task list, and now, I've actually found a use for it. Typical. Of course, that also means I now need to make another one. Productivity. The suspense is killing me. Come on, build already. There's no lock on the tool cupboard. Oh wow, look at all those materials and all. That's exactly what I need to upgrade my base to sheet metal. Thank you very much. And while I'm here, I'm just going to casually destroy the sleeping bag. You know, just in case. I am genuinely nervous carrying all this loot back to base. This is easily the most valuable haul I've had so far. Now I just need to make it home, without getting shot, eaten, or doing something stupid. So basically, anything could happen. Made it. My goodness. My heart was in my mouth the entire way back. But the loot is safe. And somehow, so am I. Interesting. That's pretty close to my location. Should I go for it? I was supposed to be heading out to collect more scrap, but this has definitely tempted me. After that first raid, my confidence is suddenly sky high, which is probably a terrible sign. Right? Let's do this. What could possibly go wrong? My goodness, that airdrop is really close. I might actually get there before anyone else. For once, I may have arrived at exactly the right time. Now I just need to hope nobody else had the same idea. And there it is, within touching distance. Come on, just a little bit closer. Doesn't seem to be anyone around. Maybe I can just grab it and run. Quickly, very quickly. Look at that wonderful loot. All those guns, ammo, loot and frags. Come on quickly now, quickly. Oh no, I hear someone. See them and dead. Well, it was nice while it lasted. Right? Let's respawn at the base, grab a gun, and see if we can get back there. Maybe I can take him out. Or at the very least, recover some of that loot. Round 2. Strange. The door to the base we raided is open. That definitely wasn't like that before. Which makes me wonder, is he nearby? Because suddenly, this feels like a trap. Ah, nice. He actually left us our weapon, our clothes, and even a few bandages. That was unexpectedly generous. Maybe not everyone in Rust is completely terrible. Or he was full from the loot. I like to think it is the former, but most likely the latter. Looks like he's long gone. So, I'm going to head back over to that base we raided earlier. Might as well see if there's anything left worth taking. Because apparently one successful raid has made me fearless. Wait, I can hear someone. Someone near my base. Oh, brilliant. Please don't tell me someone's already found it. Nice. Some decent loot there. Wait, I wonder if that's the guy whose base we raided earlier? From the sounds of it, he was using a pickaxe on the door. Or maybe the wall. If it is him, I think he may have come looking for revenge. I'm just going to put away the loot from the first one, then I'll head back and collect the rest of his stuff. For once, I'm actually going to secure what I've got before getting greedy. Alright, all the loot is safely stored away. So, what do we try next? I've been thinking it's probably time to start exploring some of the monuments. I've got the airfield pretty close to me, but from what I've been reading, I'm going to need a green card, and then a blue card. Apparently, I can get the green card from the supermarket, and the blue card from the outpost. So, supermarket first, then the outpost, and eventually, the airfield. Look at me, actually having a plan for once. Some nice loot here too. And mission complete. Green card acquired. Now it's time to head back to base. Preferably without donating it to someone else on the way. I don't want to get too close to these bases, just in case someone decides to take a shot at me. I've actually got something worth keeping now, so maybe this is the time to stop taking unnecessary risks. And speaking of unnecessary risks, I'm going to test this gun on that NPC, because apparently, personal growth lasted about 30 seconds, right? Let's see if I can actually hit something this time. Yes, got him. Eventually. Definitely not the right gun for me, though. I waste far too many bullets with this thing. I think I'll stick to pistols. Slightly fewer opportunities to embarrass myself. Right, let's get back home safely with the green card. And that medical device I want to research. I've actually got useful stuff on me now. So this would be a terrible time to do something stupid. Oh no, I can definitely hear a bear, and my track record with bears is not exactly impressive. Yep, there it is. Right, here we go. Finally, take that, bear. Maybe I'm improving after all. What was that? That definitely sounded like a base getting raided. Please, please don't let it be mine. I've only just started making the thing vaguely respectable. Thankfully, it's not my base being raided. I've added so many layers to mine now, that I'm hoping anyone who looks at it just thinks, absolutely not worth the effort. That's the plan, anyway. I need to make myself a research table, so I can research this medical syringe. From what I can tell, it heals quite a bit. And considering how often I seem to get myself into trouble, I'm definitely going to need that. I'm not entirely sure how I've managed to place the research table inside the wall, but I'm not complaining. If anything, maybe it'll make it harder for someone to notice. And more importantly, harder for them to steal. Accidental security. I'll take it. Right, now that we've got the green card, it's time to head to the outpost for that blue card. And from this point on, I think I'm sticking with the pistol. Because apparently my bullet-making skills cannot keep up with my ability to miss absolutely everything. Looks like this NPC is camping the bike, so if I want it, he's got to go. Right? Let's try and deal with him without wasting half my ammunition this time. Three rounds of ammo later is finally history, and I think I might actually have landed a headshot. Maybe, just maybe, my luck is starting to turn. Not exactly the best loot, but never mind. We got the bike. We move. I'll be at the outpost in no time at this rate. I absolutely love this bike. After spending most of this wipe running for my life, this feels like luxury. Ah, I spoke too soon. Of course I did. That little moment of happiness lasted about 5 seconds. Right, now I need to find the NPC. Only problem is, I have absolutely no idea where he shot me from. So this should be fun. Found him. I think he's hiding behind that hemp plant. Yep, there he is. Got him. Apparently, the hemp wasn't quite enough cover. Right, back on the bike. Let's try this again. Hopefully, nothing else decides to stop me on the way to the outpost. Although, I've said things like that before. Finally, made it to the outpost. That journey was far more eventful than it needed to be. Now let's see if I can actually get what I came here for. So, turns out I went to every single shop in the outpost, and none of them sell the blue card. After checking online again, it turns out they don't sell them here anymore. Apparently, I was following an old post. Of course I was. How old? 5 years. Yep, that is 100% something I would do. Excellent research. Still, it wasn't a completely wasted trip. Turns out there's all sorts of amazing stuff you can buy here, including weapons. So now I've got myself a new gun, and a few grenades. You know, for when I inevitably miss with the gun. But seriously, this place has everything. Workbench, recycler, shops, all sorts of useful items. I genuinely can't believe I've never come here before. There is one slight problem, though. Other players. And I'm pretty sure a couple of them arrived earlier in a helicopter. So, getting out of here safely might be interesting. I decided to leave as soon as there was a bit of light in the sky. There's a patrol helicopter nearby, and plenty of other players around. So for once, the plan is simple. Don't shoot anything. Don't get spotted. And try not to do anything stupid. That last one might be the difficult part. So, after discovering I couldn't get a blue card from the outpost, I did a little more research. This time, I found a post that wasn't 5 years old. Progress. Apparently, I can get a blue card from the harbor, which, naturally, is much closer to my base than the outpost. Of course it is. So that massive journey was completely unnecessary. Excellent. I have absolutely no idea where I'm going. Not a clue. After about 15 minutes of wandering around, I finally found where the fuse goes, and where the switch is. So, only took me a quarter of an hour to solve the world's simplest puzzle. We're making progress. Now I just need to get into the room, without anyone interrupting me, which, given how today has gone, feels like a big ask. Finally, the blue card, and a gunshot. Of course there's a gunshot, because apparently I'm not allowed to enjoy anything for more than 5 seconds. Please, just let me get these cards home safely. I've worked far too hard for them, to lose them now. Made it home safely. Both cards secured. Right? Let's head over to the airfield while it's still early, and see what kind of trouble I can find there, because apparently surviving the trip home wasn't enough excitement for one day. Great, an NPC. That genuinely made me jump out of my chair. But you know what? I'm not even going to try. I've got one goal right now. Make it to the airfield. For once, I'm choosing survival over stupidity. I remember when situations like this used to completely panic me, or just end with me dying. Now I'm taking down animals like it's nothing. So, I suppose that does count as progress. Small progress, but progress. I have absolutely no idea where I'm going. But that big main-looking building seems like a sensible place to start. I can hear NPCs nearby. I just can't actually see them, which is somehow even more unsettling. I know they're here. I just have no idea where. Ah, that sparking room looks like a good place to start. And thankfully, looks like I am right. For once, I might know what I'm doing. And then, reality sets in. I've forgotten the 2 fuses. They're sitting safely back at my base, in the loot box. Of course they are. Thankfully, what I haven't treated you to, is the 30 or so minutes I spent checking almost every loot box, inside and outside the monument, hoping I'd somehow find another fuse. I didn't, but I did find a horse. So now I need to ride like the wind back to base, pick up the 2 fuses I should have brought with me in the first place, and come all the way back. How to prove you have absolutely no idea what you're doing. My hemp farm is looking pretty good, though. So, not a completely wasted 30 minutes. And I did finally figure out where I need to use the keycard. Look at that. Actual progress. Right, let's try this again. Back to the airfield. This time, with the fuses. Already an improvement. I heard a few players stirring on the way over, so I'm going to leave the horse around the back. That way, if things go badly, I've at least got a quick getaway. Look at me, planning an escape before I've even gone in. First fuse is in. Now it's time to run. Wait, that's odd. There aren't any planes or helicopters showing on the map, but I can definitely hear one. I'm pretty certain that's another player. Wonderful. Exactly what I wanted to hear halfway through this puzzle. Not exactly off to the best start. I'm taking bullets from every direction, like I've somehow volunteered to be target practice. Brilliant. Headshot. And he's down. Only took me 13 bullets. So, basically a marksman now. Oh dear, I really should have seen that coming. The door's shut again. Down. Right? Back we go. Let's see if I can get this thing working again, preferably before something else starts shooting at me. Wow, I can activate it again. Perfect. Right? Let's go. And this time, try not to waste the opportunity. Oh dear, it didn't work, which means I now have to use my last fuse. Excellent. 2 fuses, 1 puzzle, and somehow I've nearly managed to mess up both. I really am a noob. I'm just going to hope I can find another fuse while I'm down there. If not, well, lesson learned. Next time, bring more fuses than I think I need. Right? Second time's the charm. Let's see if I can actually get this right now. No pressure. Apart from the fact I'm using my last fuse. He flew back. How did he even hear me? Apparently stealth is not one of my stronger skills either. Finally, got him. Only took me 22 bullets. At this rate, I don't need better weapons. I need cheaper ammunition. Should have stuck with the nail gun. Yes, finally, something is actually going my way. In the very last box, a fuse. Beautiful. After everything it took to get this far, this feels like destiny. I am getting that loot. Okay, last room. Wish me luck. Because if there's one thing we've established, I'm definitely going to need it. Got him. Headshot. Only took 15 bullets. But finally, the loot is mine. After all the running around, forgotten fuses, and questionable shooting, we actually did it. Now to grab everything I can, and somehow make it home in one piece. Right, that's everything. Now I just need to get out of here. I really don't like how close that helicopter sounds. I'm pretty sure the player is looking for me. So, time to leave before this successful loot run turns into another donation. I can't see him, but I know he's close, which somehow is even worse. Okay, the horse is exactly where I left it. Perfect. Now let's get this loot home, before that helicopter finds me, and all of this effort ends very badly. Oh dear, there he is. This is going to hurt. Come on, please just let me get this loot home. I've come way too far to lose it now. Finally, home safely. I genuinely can't believe I made it back with all that loot. And more importantly, I finally completed a proper monument puzzle. I'm actually pretty proud of that. I've definitely come a long way from the days of getting killed over and over again on stream. Still a noob, just a slightly more experienced one now. I'm starting to get the hang of the electrical system, and honestly, this is a really cool part of the game. There's clearly a huge amount of potential here. I just don't understand most of it yet. I think it's going to take quite a few more hours before I properly understand what everything does, and how to actually set it all up. But I'm getting there. And now, we've got lights, and a turret outside. I genuinely never thought I'd get as far as setting something like this up. From waking up on the beach with a rock, to having an actual powered base with defenses. That's progress. The server is coming to an end, so I've used pretty much all of my gunpowder to make some explosives. I've never really tried raiding properly with explosives before, so I thought, why not? We're going to pick a base, see what these things can actually do, and hopefully learn something before the wipe ends. Worst case, I blow everything up and achieve absolutely nothing, which would be a fairly fitting way to end this adventure. So, apparently you can't do two at once, and shooting them doesn't seem to help either. Or maybe I'm just not shooting them enough. Honestly, I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing here. And that brings this adventure to an end. Thank you so much for watching and joining me on my noob adventures in Rust. We've gone from waking up on the beach with nothing but a rock, to building a base, completing a monument puzzle, surviving raids, and somehow even learning a few things along the way. I'm still very much a noob, but definitely a slightly better one than when we started. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel to join me for more adventures. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.